I recently asked a very close friend of mine that knows my life inside and out, what one thing can he attribute the success of 2023 to in my life? And to no surprise, he mentioned the exact thing that I've been prepping and wanting to speak to you about today. He mentioned setting daily reminders. This very simple, practical daily task has really helped to transform my 2023 into the most successful, the most productive. I've had the lowest amount of stress this year that I've had in any year, but I've grown more, I've built my company more, I've done more from a productivity standpoint, and I've overcome a lot of laziness and things that I really struggled with in the past. If you're anything like me, sometimes theory bores me, but I want to read something from the psychological aspects of laziness, which was a study done in 1995. And bear with me here, just quickly. It says in its key finding, procrastination is often rooted in avoidant behaviors and task aversion. Utilizing external tools such as daily reminders and task setting can serve as effective coping strategies to overcome the psychological barriers associated with laziness. There are studies that are showing that daily reminders can really help increase productivity and help your efficiency and really help you overcome laziness. Without more theory, let's get into the practicalities of how simple daily reminders really transform my 2023. Simply setting a reminder as it comes up has been such a useful task. I am often throughout my day filled with so many ideas, creative ideas, business ideas, life ideas, that spans from work to personal to finance, etc. And it has been so useful to, as the idea pops up in my mind, write it down. And what's great is I'm often behind my computer and then I'm often behind my phone. And if you're an Apple user and you're in the Apple ecosystem, there's a fantastic tool on Apple called Reminders. So I've just opened up my phone and I'm going to show you how you can access Apple Reminders on your phone. If you just hold down on the screen with your thumb and click the plus sign, you have an option here to scroll down and find reminders. But let's go ahead and search for reminders. What that's going to do is open up this list where we get to choose from different reminders. I'm going to, for the sake of this video, choose this big one at the end and say add widget, and we can go ahead and drag that over to the last page. Let's click done. What's great about this is, as I was saying in point one, when I come up with an idea, all I have to do is open up my phone. I could be on a walk, I could be out at dinner. All I have to do is open up my phone, say new reminder, and write down what the reminder is. If you're a Windows user, an Android user, or anything in between, there's a great app from Microsoft called OneNote that you can use to do exactly the same thing as what I'm going to show you today on Mac. What's great about having, and being in the Apple ecosystem is as soon as I add a reminder on my phone, what that does is show up on my computer. Let's switch over to my computer here. On Apple's latest macOS update, macOS Sonoma, they brought widgets to your screen. How you add a widget is hold down Control and click, and that'll open up this panel. Just go to Edit Widgets. From here, just like we did on my iPhone, you can search reminders and you can add a reminder by clicking the plus icon, then click Done. Over here, we can snap it to a different location anywhere on the screen. And again, when we want to edit this, we can open it up, add a new reminder. And what is the best functionality is, again, that the two sync up. So wherever you are, if you have a device on you, you can always add that thought, that idea. Thing is trying to keep track of what I need to do, when I need to do it, whose meeting I have here and there, reminders, tasks, etc. It gets tiresome to my mind. Doing it this way, I can add it. I don't have to remember it and have it at the top of my mind every time I jump on my computer. And it's a tangible way to remember things without the mental fatigue. So let's get into a bit more of the functionality of how to use reminders. I've opened up reminders here on my Mac, and as you can see in the bottom left, we can add a list. I would highly suggest categorizing different areas in your life into different lists. But for the sake of this video, I've set up work and personal. Remember, you can always find all your reminders right here in the All section. If you want to add a new reminder, click anywhere on the screen in this No Reminder section. From here, we can simply add Get YouTube Video Recorded, right? In addition, we can add subpoints. So what I like to do is add notes, the video idea, the topic, etc., etc. Now, a cool function is we can add tags. When I hashtag YouTube, it adds a tag into my tag section, so I can quickly click my tag and see all the reminders that are related to YouTube. In addition, much like a calendar, we can add a date, we can add a location, and we can flag it as important. Let's say you have a colleague with reminders as well on their Mac. What we can do, and this is an incredible function, we can share this list with other people to add to assign. So if I go share, I can mail somebody this list. For the sake of this video, I'm going to share it with myself. So if I invite with link, I'm going to send it to myself. Once you've shared your reminder list, you have an option to right click and say assign. Now I can assign that to me, or depending on how many people are on your list, you can have that assigned to you. What's great is that in your personal reminders, if you go to the assign section, you can see what's been assigned to you. Once you finish the task, all you have to do is mark as completed by clicking the little circle, and that task will fly away. That leads me into my next point of why I think this tool and this function of completing tasks is so important. It is a small but very affirmative action. I was doing some more research last night and found that sometimes the only reason we don't get tasks done is because we don't know where to start. More so, we don't know what to prioritize and we feel stuck. Feeling stuck is normal. It is normal to feel like, where do I begin? What do I do first? How do I get there? And that's okay. And what's great about this is as soon as you tick that button of that task, I promise you the feeling and of self-affirmation that you get from completing the task, it's so fulfilling. And what a positive action. It is absolutely awesome. And I've seen it in my life, and I totally believe that a positive action breeds more positive actions. So that's another reason I would recommend Reminders or OneNote if you're on Windows and Android. It is a positive action that leads to more positive actions. I want to read you another quote, and I know I mentioned something similar earlier, but check this out. This is cognitive factors in laziness, something that I have personally struggled with. The key finding from the study done in 2008 was decision fatigue, which as we approach the end of 2023, I know we're all probably feeling fatigued. Decision fatigue and cognitive load can contribute to laziness. And again, what I was saying earlier is sometimes having 20 tasks to do in your mind is such a cognitive load that we don't know where to start, we don't know what to do, we don't know how to get those complete, right? It says reminders can serve as external cues, reducing the cognitive load associated with initiating tasks, thereby helping individuals overcome the cognitive barriers linked to laziness. I think this is encouraging. I think this is encouraging on multiple levels, right? It really shows that laziness, we can attribute laziness to more factors than just our character or a flaw with ourselves. Laziness is linked to some of us having lists longer than we can count in our minds and not knowing where to start. And that creates fatigue, that creates cognitive load that doesn't need to be there. And what's great, and as this shows, is laziness can be overcome by external cues, having a reminders app on your phone, on your computer, having it reduce that cognitive load. I don't know why I'm struggling with cognitive. Reduce that fatigue and be able to carry out those tasks more proficiently. As we approach the end of this video, I really want to encourage you, and this is something that I did recently, which was super fulfilling and encouraging. But I went onto my reminders app, I scrolled up, you sometimes have to swipe down a bit, and I saw 245 completed. And the feeling of accomplishment that I know you can feel too, but the feeling of accomplishment that I got from doing this was just incredible. And I clicked show in the right, and I scrolled down and I saw, man, I look back at some of these tasks that were in June or earlier. I only really started this in May, but I saw that I had completed 245 tasks throughout the year, which was incredible. It was such a great feeling. And I really want to encourage you, again, this is something that's special about reminders, but I want to encourage you to do the same every now and then and see how much you really got through, see how much you've done. So let's briefly talk about Windows, and this function is super cool. It works exactly like Apple's reminders. If you're on Windows and you have an Android or you have a Windows computer and you're on an Apple phone, all you have to do is install OneNote on your cellular device, on your smartphone. Now, I've already installed OneNote and I've synced the two accounts, so you need to sign in with your Windows account on your phone and vice versa, right? Let's go ahead and add in the OneNote widget. Add the widget. Now, what's fantastic about this, again, it works exactly the same. If I open up the widget, I can go to the bottom right and it says Sticky Notes. Now, every Windows computer has an app called Sticky Notes. It's built into Windows. If you add a sticky note on your computer, it is going to show up in the sticky notes section of your phone, and vice versa. If I add a sticky note on my phone, it is going to show up in my sticky notes list on my Windows computer. Here are 2 tests that I did. On my computer, I wrote, "Hey there YouTube, this is a sync test." And on my phone, I wrote, "Hi Node 1." Both of them showed up a couple seconds later on either device. Unfortunately, we don't get that same kind of completion, but once you're done, you can just swipe right and delete the note, and that is going to remove it. That's your way of completing and being finished with that. And that's it, guys. That is my biggest productivity hack for 2023. I would highly recommend it. Again, I know I've ranted and raved a lot this video, but man, I can't suggest it more. I want to equip each of us who are watching this and myself. If you have any tips that I left out from reminders and daily task setting, I would love to hear them. I am trying to really develop a mindset of productivity and efficiency. I think we all have limited time here on this earth. We each have around 4,000 weeks. That's if we get to live a long life, and every week is so valuable, and I want to savor it. So if you guys have any tips, please share them in the comments and fill me in. This has been so good to spend time with you, and I will see you in the next video. I know this is different to my usual editing stuff, and I thought, let me try a different approach of still linked to growing a business and productivity and efficiency, but just a different task. See you next one, guys. Bye.